Vision. And then we're going to be going in Storm Jags versus 228 Blackwatch. Let's take a look at the decks. All right, on the Storm Jaguar side, coming in at 4th seed, they were actually tied with 228, but had the tiebreaker against 228, and that's why they're 4th and 228 is 5th. So they have beaten 228 in the qualifiers. Coming in with dual Kodiak 3s, Hunchback 2CAs, Jenner 2CAs, Timberwolf, Grasshopper 5P on the Team 1 side. On 228, we got dual Kodiak 3s, Timberwolf, Warhammer 6R, Energy Jenner 2Cs, and Energy Hunchback 2CAs. Let's go in and take a look. Here we go. This is technically match 1 now between the 4th and 5th seed teams.
This is another interesting matchup, in my opinion. 228, kind of the I almost want to say like the everyman's team in a way. Obviously, a very, very big unit in general. Blackwatch being their premier competitive team. They've been around forever, and I think they're really not a lot of weak spots in 228. I think they're good range. They're good brawlers. They kind of, if you think of like different classes, SJR, they've got a strong range game. Lords obviously like to go brawl. 228 kind of,
I wouldn't even say Lords is going brawl as much as they're going aggressive mid-range.
They're aggressive, yeah. And I feel like 228 can do any of those strategies and do any of them well.
All right, so Vonka taking a risky peek up alpha to alpha, getting hit center torso down to 91% right off the bat. He has seen that 228 is going aggressively with their Gauss PPC up the right side. Looks like 228 is in a full charge at this point. Storm Jaguar is in a pretty much full range deck. Core Knight in that Kodiak 3 trying to navigate his way up to rafters to get an angle, but everybody else is very spread out all across the map. Now, they're not up against just pure DACA or Brawl here, so
no, this is range
228
by
can
228.
definitely trade back, and if they can start isolating mechs, they might be able to really start bringing some people down. Vonka ending up down to 97%. That's got to shake you up a little bit, being that hurt right off the bat. But, of course, those Hunchback 2Cs can be deceptive on their health readout. 79% ain't much when, well, he is pretty hurt. Let's be fair. Nothing hit his arms. Nothing hit his arms.
Right now, I feel like 228 is winning these trades.
228 is winning the trades, but I do like Storm Jaguar's position. They've got rafters.
I don't like their positioning, but they are winning the trades right now, and you wonder if maybe they're going for a little more of a map control. They're kind of pushing Storm Jaguar back into this corner where they don't have as much access to.
We got two lights going in on Theta right now, but they're kind of in full view of that entire spread of 228. I think that might have been a little bit of a miscue because there's no way that they were going to be able to cap that with that wide of a spread from 228. They took a lot of damage in that effort and put up a UAV, but it didn't really do much. So they were chased off of Theta with very little gain. Tercial down to 82%. It was a good effort, but there's no sneaking when it comes to that one. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and they have a lot of UAVs up over Theta. I'm not sure the lights saw that.
So on the 228 side, defunct at 87%, but everybody's staying relatively fresh so far. I think they've gotten into some pretty extreme ranges, so most of these shots probably aren't doing full damage at this range. Some of those initial shots in on like Vonka and stuff were a lot closer and really made a big impact and gave a really good head start to 228. So right now, in terms of damage, I'd say this is in 228's favor and in terms of cap. But we'll have to see.
Yeah,
where
the lights for Storm Jaguar finally went and grabbed a cap. They got to keep it at least close. They don't want to get themselves in a situation where they're trying to race at the end to get caps.
So it looks like we've got a little bit of a movement from Storm Jaguar along. Oh, Vonka goes down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, he was peeking around that right side aggressively, and they had mechs right there. Matt Edge is continuing to peek, and it looks like he's got some help now from Core Knight. This is a very narrow firing channel, but if Matt and Core Knight can start landing some of these shots, they might be able to start tipping it back, but they've lost one of their mechs.
Moving some of their mechs over here. I'm not sure if the rest of Storm Jaguar has angles to shoot at those mechs.
Oh, no. Matt is one-shot CT, and he gets stuck on Core Knight. Looks like he is able to back out, but he's going to be
This is not a good position for Storm Jaguar.
Now.
They do not want to be trading from this corner.
No, look at how many shots are able to come in from 228. They're going aggressive now. They're pushing across. They're going to drag Matt Edge with them, but he's going to go down very quickly. They did not forget him, but it looks like the lights are coming in on the backfield and getting some backstabs in on Panic Button. Legal Department and Terciel in the back. He's still alive, but down to 50%. That was a big play. One-shot CT to Panic Button, but now those lights are responding. Terciel and Legal Department are now being chased away.
And
One
Terciel
last
goes
fight
down.
does get that light mech down. Legal Department doing whatever he can. Core Knight takes out Defunct. Panic Button does go down to Legal Department before he gets taken down. He's still up. Well, there he goes down now. So they were able to handle him. 4 mechs down for Storm Jags. They did get a Kodiak and a Warhammer down, but they still have a long way to go.
Yeah, they made it a little closer, but they're going to need a whole lot of help to
Got
try and win
ourselves
this match.
a little bit of a NASCAR going on here. Frost Pendragon moving up, taking lead. Gets a nice airstrike right across him. These are pretty rough peaks, and I'm not sure whether the terrain is going to really work for him much. Whoa. Core Knight gets popped by Ed. 3 mechs remaining for Storm Jags, and they are taking quite a bit of damage. This might end up going in 2-2-8 unless they... Oh, bad overheat by that Hunchback 2C. Frost has to step up and take the hit for him. He does get out, but that was a nasty overheat. And now the Jenners are starting to work their way back around the left side. They want to end this. One last bite in Queen Blade, starting to get their pokes in on the backside. And Storm Jaguar is effectively pinned. Frost Pendragon has a Gauss explosion. We just saw that just now. His ERPPCs are gone. He's down to the 1 Gauss remaining, and that is on an open shoulder. So a Spitball could take him out. And this, I gotta say, this is definitely going in favor of 2-2-8 at this point.
2-2-8 has this. The only thing that's kept Storm Jaguar alive so far is that 2-2-8 hasn't been as aggressive as maybe they could be. I don't know if they don't realize how damaged they are.
I mean, they've got caps, and they've got the health.
There's no real way for them to lose this unless they make a big mistake. I'm just saying, usually you see teams just kind of roll on up and finish it quickly, but they're going to just keep trading like they've been doing, and eventually this game will be over. Here come the lights coming around the corner. Down goes Frost.
I think he got taken out before the Gauss charge even finished. He wasn't able to even get a shot off on that one, but this is for the killing blow. Storm Jaguar is going to fall in drop 1, and we're going to head into drop 2. 2-2-8 taking it 8-2.
Nice power position plays by 2-2-8 there.
2-2-8 definitely commanded that one. I'd never felt like Storm Jags had control of this one. Let's take a look at the damage. Core Knight pulling 549 in that Kodiak did pretty damn well, but Vonka a measly 13. Something went terribly wrong, and I think that initial peak probably shook him up, because that was a lot of incoming damage in a very short amount of time, and he was just not able to trade well in that Hunchback 2C. And then a lot of that at the end was almost side peeking, which the Hunchback 2C is not really favored for. It's a top peeker, and ultimately got shredded down. Wasn't able to land anything he put on field. 13 damage. That's effectively 1 PPC landing on its mark. So hopefully he can figure out what happened there and come back strong into drop 2 to make a better showing. But it was a good attempt.
Edmeister, 688 damage in that Timberwolf. Tops for the match. Nice play.
Krisman right there with that Kodiak 3, 532. So 2-2-8 just putting out the hurt. Now Legal Department and Terciel coming in on that backfield. It gave them a little bit of hope, I think, but it was a sacrifice, because there was one way to go, and that was straight to the ground. After that gank attempt, they were going to swarm him, and the rest of their team was not in a position to really be able to take advantage of the entirety of 2-2-8 turning around to handle the lights, because all they had to do is take one step, and they were no longer a threat. Or like Stormjack was no longer a threat on that backside. So, you know, that's rough. It gave them a little bit of hope, but you almost kind of wish that they got a little bit more out of it, or that Stormjags was starting able to put some of their shots downfield a little bit more solid. But they were hemorrhaging at that point, big time. So, drop 1 in favor of 2-2-8. We're going to be going to drop 2. What side has Storm Jaguar opted for?
Storm Jaguar has chosen to switch it up. They want Team 2. I think that's the more popular side, especially for range decks on Tourmaline. So we're going to see whether maybe that was an execution based off what side they were. I think, obviously, Vonka getting beaten up there at the beginning, but also just that trade they kind of did afterwards, peeking around the corner where Mad Edge got caught out. trying to fire down from that back corner of the map in that very tight positioning. I mean, it's just not a lot of room. Basically, you have to have one mech at a time step out and take a shot,
And then get hit by 3 or 4.
and get hit by 3 or 4. Yeah, not a good place to trade. Just that whole match kind of felt off and out of sync by Storm Jaguar there.
Well, we'll see what happens if this change-up is able to do anything for them. Of course, it's going to be a risky business. Let's do a giveaway real quick. Mech Pack!
Standard mech pack coming out.
Irish Bob, you are the winner. Irish_Bob. Send Bandit P17 a whisper with what mech pack you want and with your in-game name in MechWarrior Online. Thank you very much. Congratulations. All right. Teams are starting to get into lobby, so let's really quick look at the replay while they're readying up. Just grab some key moments here if possible. So obviously the first one, we have to mention it again, the initial peek by Vonka right here. Well, not quite there. The longer the stream goes on, the harder it is to get pinpoint clicks. All right, Vonka coming up to take a peek, but he's against the entirety of their F-Lance, and right to the face, 91%. And if that's not bad enough, takes another attempt at it, and 228 is just on point with those shots, 85%, 79%. Such a nasty trade. Didn't need to happen, so Vonka paid for that one ultimately in the end. But of course, they start spreading out into their wide angle here. But 228 content, controlling 2 caps. That means it's going to be on Storm Jaguar to make the maneuver. They did send their lights off to Kappa to pull 1 in, but it's not going to help them all that much. You know, if they got Gamma Kappa, they're still low on the tickets at that point. So they opted to send their guys along stage. Vonka ultimately does go down up in front. That's just such a nasty tunnel here because each mech peaks 1 at a time against a nice spread of 228 mechs. About 4 of them able to toss shots back in, and Mad Edge, of course, getting cored out. And then ultimately on the crossover, which is right coming up here, they opted to cross. Essentially, I feel like this is the goal line, and they need to do that 2-yard running play to give themselves a little bit of room so they don't get a safety. But unfortunately, Mad Edge, the quarterback in the back, gets sacked, which is nasty. Sorry, the Packer game tomorrow. But, but yeah. Then there's those backstabs by those lights. They got Panic Button pretty damn hurt from that one.
It was too little, too late.
Too little, too late. And like I said, Stormjag wasn't able to really necessarily lend anything to this. They did ultimately get Panic Button down, but you know it was a good effort. It did kind of even it up a bit, but Storm Jaguar had taken so much damage at that point that they were just going to be coming from behind and fighting around this single spire was going to be rough. So both teams are in lobby for drop 2. They did switch it up. Stormjags opting for team 2 this time, but let's take a look. All right.
This is an interesting deck.
Stormjags running the Ice Ferrets. This kind of reminds me of what D5 did against, was that EMP, and then it didn't work. We'll have to see. It seems to me like that Bravo Lance wants to do some ganking, but let's get in and take a look. So we got Daka, and we've got probably small pulse gankers. Is Stormjags going to be able to get in there and get the work done without losing those Ice Ferrets and those lights? Because if they just walk in there, and if that mech they start to attack spreads it really well until reinforcements arrive, that plan is going to fall apart very, very quickly. So
yeah. So you wonder if this is either a gank deck or maybe a cap deck?
I'm thinking gank deck personally, because I think 228's going to have too easy of a time controlling the field, especially only trading against 4 Storm Jaguar mechs. This has got to be something with gank. I gotta say, it's got to be. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I really think this is kind of an all your eggs in one basket maneuver. I think that they are really putting a lot of stock in this successful gank, but We'll see. Maybe I'm completely
This
wrong.
is going to be interesting.
All right, 228 stepping up. Storm Jaguar with the initial charge. We've got ourselves a firefight. They're putting some shots into Chrisman, but all he has to do is take a step back. Panic button takes Abigail out.
Already take down a Kodiak. Wow.
The focus fire was fantastic. Ed has overheated. They're not able to get really meaningful focus fire, though, because 228 has set themselves up in a very good position. But looks like Storm Jaguar has moved off to the right side now. But here come those ice ferrets. They're getting in on the lights. Looks like they're coming in on the backside, and they're trying to get some ganks in on those heavier mechs now.
These ice ferrets are in too far, I think. They don't have the support yet.
Well, they've got the support now, so now they're working.
It.
They do take Chrisman down. One of those Kodiaks are down. Let's see if they can continue with those small pulse lasers and getting the job done. They're on panic button right now. One of them snugged up right behind him, trying to get the back cores. Panic button is twisting as much as he possibly can. He's down to 1 Gauss right now, so they might have actually called off of him because he's only got the 1 Gauss. Coronite falls. 4 mechs dead now for Storm Jaguar. Only 2 for 228. Those ice ferrets and 1 ice ferret and 2 Jenner 2Cs are the only ones besides that Black Widow. They're trying to get Greem down. He overheats. They should be able to take him down in 1 more shot. I don't know how he's still alive.
They don't do so.
They do get him. Greem is down. There's 5 mechs remaining for 228. The Jenners are now heading over to that super fresh Hunchback 2C, trying to get some shots into his backside, but they were able to take Fabrosian down. Those last 2 are the lights, and this is going to go in favor of 228. It was really an all eggs in one basket play.
Yeah.
Kind of a desperation move by Storm Jaguar. I think that the plan had some merit to it, but the 2 guys up on stage and the lights waiting for him blew the plan wide open. They knew they were coming. They did get a couple kills, but I think the damage coming out into Alpha Lance was just too much.
Losing that Kodiak in the first 10 seconds of the push is brutal.
Absolutely. I mean, it's maybe if Alpha Lance delayed a little bit on that corner, but they would have just had a better firing line. But really, 228 played their cover very well. Nobody was ever peeking too long to really be focus fired all that much at all. And yeah, that kill on Abigail holding to 106 damage. Vonka and that Ice Ferret 95. Fabrosian and Legal Department definitely did some work. Mad Edge and Cornite and Lord Sky also did some work coming out of that Alpha Lance. But bottom line, the damage was very close for between both teams. We're seeing like a differential of maybe like 200 to 300 damage total, I think.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I think the focus was a lot better on 228's side, though.
Absolutely. They definitely got the damage where it counted. And, of course, those Ice Ferrets don't have... I don't think they are very armored. Are they? Are they really tanky for a medium? I would assume not compared to a Hunchback 2C, which never seems to die.
Yeah.
But
I don't... I mean, I'm not sure. I think they're all arm-mounted weapons, aren't they, on those Ice Ferrets?
Probably. I mean, it's
very easy to lose your weapons when you've got them all in the arms.
They still did some work, though. But, I mean, I can't fault for Storm Jaguar trying this. I think they did their best, obviously. But it just didn't work. 228 landing those shots. If Storm Jaguar had a very healthy Alpha Lance on that charge, it could have gone completely the other direction. But the focus fire from 228 was on point. They didn't even flinch, and the return fire was spread. And that is it for Storm Jaguar. Has lost 2-0 decision on the series. They will be falling to play House of Lords in the elimination bracket. And 228 will move on right now to play Imperial in match 3. So let's get those teams ready. It's going to be a quick turnaround for 228, but I'm sure they don't mind running on the adrenaline they got right now, carrying that into the Imperial match. Quick look at the bracket here with it updated.